Hey folks, Rick here from the LaLa Farm. We are visiting with John and Rachel Wallace of the Dusty Goat Homestead in Pace, Florida, which is over on the Panhandle, a place that we don't get to nearly enough. So we're going to do a little farm tour today, kind of show you their animals. They're doing some cool things. They've got some rare chicken breeds, some Samanis, couple of hens, couple of roosters. Never seen a rooster with a blue comb. John says it's black. I say it's blue. It's kind of like the debate between navy blue and black, but I think it's blue. So here we go. LaLa has found her some goats.
Oh yeah, I found some goats.
And
so
coincidentally, this goat came from Hidden Oaks Homestead, Chip and Nicole, who we're going to see tomorrow at the Gulf Coast Homesteaders meetup. This was their goat that they sold to John and Rachel. So
and she's beautiful.
Rachel and/or John, who wants to be the tour guide?
I'll let Rachel do it.
Okay, so this is Sunny. She's a Nigerian Dwarf. She was born in, I believe, April or May. So she's less than a year old.
So all of your goats Nigerians?
They are all Nigerians. So we have Millie. She's almost 2. She'll be 2 in April. And she's noisy.
That's a goat thing.
And then we have Little Bit, who is
Not so little,
but she's basically the queen of the herd. She's our biggest one, and she's a little over 2. And all 3 of these goats are great. Nigerian dwarf goats are probably my favorite type of goat. They're friendly, they're docile, and we really enjoy having them. And we're learning some things today from LaLa.
So you got a milking stand here. Are you milking?
Not yet. We built it because we want to breed Little Bit. So we're gonna breed her, which will be our first time breeding and having baby goats. So it's gonna be an experience.
There is no better time of the year than baby goat season.
I wanted to do it this month so they would be born in like March, but it just hasn't worked out yet. We have to find us a buck that we find acceptable for her. So we're on the lookout if anyone knows anybody. You just want love. You just want love constantly.
That one's spoiled rotten.
You just want love constantly. Crazy girl. You want to see something that's funny, Rick? Watch her. This is what she likes. A little bit. Come here. A little bit. Okay, she's gonna run away. But she doesn't want you to pet her head. If you put your hand on her head, on a little bit, she moves it back and forth for you.
I think.
Silly girl, you're tearing up your house.
Eat my shoes, Sonny.
Yeah.
All right, so we got over here next. What's the next door neighbors to the butt or to the?
So
what's the next door neighbors to the goats?
These are our silkies, and I really like my silkies. So I have partridge silkies, I have black silkies, I have buff silk silkies, and I have a white. So I have a little mixture of different types of silkies, and they have this whole coop here.
That's the one breed we've never had as a silky. We've had lots of breeds that we haven't had, but that's one of them.
Well,
what do you sell them?
I do. When we hatch them out, I have people ask them, want them all the time. And for me, I got them mainly for Macy because, well, Madison really likes silkies, but they're a docile breed. They're friendly. Even the roosters, you don't have any problems with the roosters being aggressive. So Macy can go in there, pick them up, walk around, play with them, and you don't have to worry about the rooster being aggressive.
Right. Where's your silky rooster?
He's little, so you wouldn't be able to tell, but that's the roof.
Oh, really? This one right here?
That one right there.
Wow.
And so the brownish gold color looking ones, those are partridge.
Okay.
So then you have the buff one, that's a silk satin. And you have the black one over there, that's a silk satin. And somehow that door got closed, so some of them stuck in there wondering why can't I get out. And we have 2 sitting on eggs that's not out here.
Very cool.
So I only have the one roux, but he does good.
You are spoiled rotten. You are spoiled rotten.
What is it, Millie?
So what you got in here?
So these are our apple
Look at these. Check out these shelters. So these are
coops.
really just the cattle panel.
It is 2 cattle panels, and then you've got your 2x4s.
And then they've got chicken wire on the outside of that 2x4 frame. So it's, you know, very, very cool frame.
And it keeps them cool in here. They're protected from. I've not had any predators get in, thankfully, and because of where we live, they can't free range.
Mm-hmm. What breed is this?
These are Appenzeller Spitzhabens. So these are my 4 females.
Say that fast 3 times.
And this is my roux. And these are actually, Michael wanted these. We've got 2 of them as chicks from a poultry show. And he just fell in love with them. So then I was able to get 3 more, and we just rounded out with the 5. But they're beautiful chickens. They're usually really docile. They're friendly.
Do you use them as breeding stock, or do you use them for eggs or meat or what?
I have, well, the hens are all kind of young, so I might get an egg here or there. They're really not on a even kill yet, but I want to try to sell them because there's not a whole lot of people around this area who have this breed of chicken.
Right.
I only actually know one lady who actually breeds it and keeps a good bloodline on them. So I think there's a good market for chicks. So we'll see. They just got to get into a good pattern and laying. Once all 4 of them are laying, then I'll be able to fill the incubator up within that, because I don't incubate outside that 7 to 10 day window from when it's laid. Really, I try to stay in between in the 7 day. So we'll see.
Cool.
A lot of people have interest in them. I just haven't had a lot of eggs yet.
And as we know, it takes eggs to get babies. All right, so here's another chicken coop. No, there's a rabbit hutch here,
These
right?
are rabbits. And I have a little bit of everything. This is an American chinchilla female. She's about 10 weeks old.
Nice cages.
These actually came from a guy in Mississippi. We had him build these for us, and they were fairly inexpensive, and they worked great. I mean, this whole hoop coop and everything went through Sally and several tropical storms.
That's a big rabbit here. What is this?
She is a Palomino, and a lot of people use these as meat rabbits. I got her from a friend of mine, and she's just kind of hangs out with us. She's a sweet girl, but Palominos are one of those that a lot of people use for meat rabbits, if that's your thing. And this is our male mini Rex.
Is that your thing?
Well, that was supposed to be the original plan.
John was telling us this story on the live the other day, so they have competing interests with the rabbits, let's say.
Yes, yeah, totally. So this is my male mini Rex.
Wow,
How
old is he?
Gray. He is about a year and a couple of months.
I thought mini Rex. All right, well that would make sense.
Yes, they will not get very big. That's as big as he'll get.
Okay.
And then this is my female mini Rex, and she's actually a little bit bigger than him, and she's at full grown too. She's almost 2.
Do you name them?
Actually, yeah, this is Elvis and this is Priscilla, because I'm an Elvis fan. John was not happy with those names. He was like, Elvis and Priscilla, really.
What would he rather have?
I don't know. I think he was just like, please don't use Elvis names. So Elvis and Priscilla. This is Dusty. She's almost like our mascot rabbit.
Well, we've got one rabbit, as you probably know.
Oh,
and
Blueberry.
And that's Madeline's. And yeah, there's competing interests on Blueberry. Blueberry will be there until she will spend the rest of her days with us.
Yeah. This is Artemis. She's American Chinchilla. She doesn't have the traditional American Chinchilla coating and her coat, because the American Chinchilla is, I guess you should say, recognized coat colors are what Deuce looks like.
So a Chinchilla breed of rabbit, is that like a Southwest breed, or?
I'm honestly not really sure where they originated from.
That's a big rabbit.
It is. They are also can be used as a meat rabbit. We've used them for having the babies and pets, and a lot of people buy them because in our area they are a very hardy.
Can I open it?
Yes, they are a very hardy rabbit because the heat.
That's a big rabbit.
They tolerate it very well. So we've never lost an American Chinchilla to the heat. As you know.
How long have you had them?
Deuce, we've had him actually these two we got about a month apart, so almost 2 years. In March will be 2 years. And he was already close to 4 or 5 months old when we got him.
That's a big fella there too.
So he's kind of on the tail end of his little happy life.
What's the life expectancy of a rabbit?
2 to 3 years normally. And he's doing okay. We will never ever get rid of him.
What's his name?
Deuce.
Deuce.
Now that's a John name.
That's
a John
I
name.
like Deuce better than Elvis or Priscilla, to be honest. I don't have a say in naming the buck goat, or scratch that whole thing. I don't have a say in naming the doe goats, but the bucks are named after AC/DC songs.
Oh, God.
So Heat Seeker and Thunderstruck are the most recent two.
I should go with like a theme of something like that on each of my rabbits. And these are my 4 baby males that I'm going to be funding homes for. They are Artemis and Deuce's babies.
Okay.
Well, she is too, the female. I just have the male and the female separated.
Now, do you sell a lot of rabbits?
I do.
Pets?
I sell a lot of rabbits as pets. We got a couple of pet stores that we sell to, the local pet stores.
Somebody wants to strike up, to start doing that, Rachel. What'd you do were these old contacts that you had? Or?
Well, John has a friend that has been raising rabbits for years. He primarily raises them for meat.
Okay.
He lives on a homestead, so he does sheep and goats and all kind of stuff. So we learned a lot from Philip about rabbits. So when we first started, as you know, I said we got the original idea was for meat rabbits, which is why we started with the American Chinchillas.
Right.
But I personally have found a market for the American Chinchillas. They are, like I said, good hardy rabbits, so people can get them, keep them in outside hutches, and they do well.
Now, how often do you keep this fan running? Most of the year?
This is usually run most of the year. Like today would be a good day for it to be on.
Yeah.
I just haven't plugged it in yet. I didn't realize it was going to get up to 80-something degrees today.
It's been beautiful, hasn't it?
Yes, it is pretty. But yes, this normally runs all day until late in the evening. Right before I go to bed, I unplug it.
I see on the outside, on some of these coops, you've got a rain barrel. So I'm assuming that's a rain barrel, is it?
This is our waterer.
Okay.
It's an automatic waterer. We fill this up
so
every 2 to 3 days. And you got lines that are run all to every cage. So this is their water source.
Okay. So you're filling up the barrels?
Yes, yes.
Cool.
Are you hot, mister? I know, it's hot. I need to turn on y'all's fan. As you know, it gets so hot.
Right.
And rabbits, that's one thing about rabbits. They have to have that ventilation and airflow.
It's this time of the year that I live for.
Oh, yeah.
But we have to suffer through June, July, and August
Fall
to get to this
and
point.
spring are my favorite times of year.
We have to suffer through June, July, and August to get here.
And these are my I am Samanis. I don't know, not everybody may know what this kind of breed of chicken.
So So when I came in here a little bit earlier, that big roux right there, I guess it was the way the light was hitting it. It looks blue.
It will have, oh, his comb?
Yes.
It's black, but it has some mulberry in it. Okay, so here's the tricky thing. With I am Samanis, for them to be show quality or 100% breed I am Samani, everything has to be completely black all the way down to the toenails. Even if you open their mouth, it is supposed to be black. Their tongue, their inside, everything would be black. That is my roux that I just got recently. He is perfect. He has no color leakage. His wattles and comb are black as they should be. And my 2 females are exactly how they should be, all the way down to their toenails.
How often do you get eggs?
I am Samanis only lay about 80 eggs a year. So typically 1 to 2 a week.
They white?
They are like a off-white creamish color. Sometimes they'll have like a little bit of a pink tint, but they're normally an off-white pale color. And that's the one thing about I am Samanis. If you're going to use them for like a breeding program to sell chicks, sell eggs, whatever, like me only having 2, I may get 3 to 4 eggs a week, maybe.
Right.
You would need a lot if you're going to want to produce a lot. But they're a really cool chicken. They're friendly. And they're also pretty hardy. I've not ever had any issues with them with the heat. They're sweet. They don't fight with each other.
That's awesome.
And I mean, as you can see in here, yeah, it's humid, but they're pretty cool. This is a pretty cool in here for them. It's not hot.
Well, it helps. You got a lot of shade in your backyard.
Oh,
so,
yeah.
So that helps.
Yeah, back here in this edge, all this, the tree line creates a lot of shade for all the animals, which is a good thing. Yeah, Michael painted that for me for Mother's Day. Because this was supposed to be my grow out pen for chicks.
Right.
As you can see, it is not. So he's like, Mom, that was supposed to be your grow out pen. And I was like, I know. But yes, these hoop coops, man, they are wonderful. For anyone who wants to do something that's inexpensive and fairly easy to build, and you can make them too where they're movable. I mean, all you need to do is put your wheels on them. Now, one this size, that's going to be really hard to move around.
Right.
But one like this, man, they're great.
So he painted you a sign for all of them, it looks like. There's Mom's rabbit pen. And this is the garden area, so looks like you pulled some stuff out. You said you just recently put some gourds in?
I did. We put gourds here. They're sprouting a little bit. I just pulled up this week, actually, all of my peppers from here, so there's nothing in this one. But over here we've got collard greens and... John, what did you plant on the end?
Ma'am?
What's planted in this end one?
That is some cabbage and broccoli over here.
Cabbage and broccoli. And we had pumpkins there, but unfortunately over there in the little patch here, they did not grow. But we sure wanted them to. So we planted this one we got to amend it.
Here comes Macy.
And we're gonna plant something here. I want to plant like spinach and stuff like that. That's good for the winter time.
Yeah. Look at all the butterflies.
Oh my gosh, they're all over. And the bees, they just so pretty. I come out here and take pictures of them all the time. And then I got this, my little planter thing.
That thing is cool.
I love this thing.
That thing is really cool.
We just planted herbs in this, and they're starting to sprout. So this will be all kind of herbs in here. A little bit of sprouting's happening.
Yeah.
And this is carrots. And they're sprouted.
Looks like you got a pepper in there.
Something got in there, and John was like, just leave it and we'll see what happens.
It looks like a pepper plant.
That actually is a green bean.
Is it?
Is it? So it just, after I pulled them, that must have just got down in the dirt and stayed. And this little thing here, this is where we take, that's why it's still high. We take the rabbits out and we put them in here.
That's a great idea.
And they spend about 30 minutes in here 2 or 3 times a week.
So that recent video that y'all did was in here. Okay.
Yeah, so they run around in here and play. We don't leave them in it, and it's supervised.
Will they eat this down?
Oh gosh, yeah. They won't. They don't have spend enough time in here to eat it completely down, but they love coming in here and eating.
That's a
this
great
stuff.
idea.
You know, they gotta have exercise, and to be able to supervise them. And literally, this is just like some old scrap and chicken wire. But because we're supervising them, they're not going to dig out. Or...
Well, it looks like you got a great supervisor here too, because I saw that video where Maisie was supervising. Do you supervise the rabbits?
So yeah.
Yeah.
She likes to get them out and put them in here and get them out and put them back.
I think you supervise the rabbits and the goats, right? Yeah, I saw that. So we're going to shift over to John and have him talk about kind of future plans for Dusty Goat Homestead. So, John, I know you bought some property. You got 4 acres, right?
Yes, sir. We've got 4 acres, about 7 miles north of here, and it
Okay.
is in the country. And that's one of the things we wanted to kind of get out of town a little bit. But we have had plans to have it. We had everything ready to go before some factors happened in the United States, and then everybody kind of disappeared, and so that kind of put everything on hold. But I've been hand clearing it.
We've seen some of them videos. You're a hard-working fellow.
Yeah,
Jeremy came and helped you.
Yeah, it's not easy, but Jeremy Blackman from Archer Universe, he came over and lended us his tractor, and he helped us out. But when it gets cooler, this guy's going to be running some equipment, so I'm just going to rent it myself and do it. So those are our future plans.
We're gonna run over and take a look at this property
That's
today.
so
So
pretty.
probably catch us some footage there too.
When it gets cooler in Florida, that's what we always say. When it gets cooler, we'll run some cross
We're
fencing.
talking about
When it gets
January,
cooler,
February.
we'll
Those are the
build a
2 cool
barn.
months that we get.
2
you
months
know?
out of the year.
Exactly.
So what's been your homestead journey? I mean, nobody wakes up in the morning and says, I'm gonna do this.
When Madison was 3, Mike was about 1, we built a chicken coop, and we got some chickens.
We were living in the city, by the way.
Yeah, we had built a house.
I was talking to John how that's where we started. It was,
in the city.
in the city, and it was in a curb and gutter neighborhood. And in the city limits, we were allowed 3 hens and 1 rooster.
That is not what we had, by the way.
Yeah, she ended
Way
up
much more
with
than that.
chicken math, and we had probably about 15 or 20 hens. But and from there, it just kind of grew, and we talked about it over the years, and we dreamed of having a bigger piece of property and growing our own food and raising some animals, because this one here likes anything furry.
Yeah.
And
Love animals.
I'm not
Love
trying to
animals.
start anything here, but you know, whose position is what with the rabbits?
they were my rabbits
For what purpose?
to eat.
What are they now?
They are pet rabbits. And we sell them to people for pets.
Now everything else, it sounds like you two are in complete agreement
Oh
with.
yeah, everything
Except
else.
them rabbits, that's the sticking point.
I lost that battle, sir.
He's like, all right. So the first set we had, he was like, all right, I'm gonna go out there and we're gonna. And I was like, no,
I did
You're
that.
not. Well, he did one, and I was like, no, that's it. No, I can't do it. You're not. No, you're not bringing it.
Did you eat it?
Yes, ma'am. It was delicious. She wouldn't even come in the house.
It's like, I'm not cooking it. I'm not slaughtering it. Don't ask me. I can't do it. Because he's like, Rachel's out there kissing on the rabbits again. Because I go out there and I'm like, oh, they're so fluffy. They're so cute.
None of the chickens, the goats, nothing
she'll-
else gets to that level. Just them rabbits.
All right. Now she'll clean a chicken.
Yeah, I'll do the chickens. I don't mind slaughtering a chicken and all that. I have no problem with that.
Yeah.
As long as I know that's what they are from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like when we got our meat chickens, I knew, okay, they're going to the freezer.
She's named every one of them. That's rule number one: is don't name your animals.
Can't help
Don't
it.
name your food.
But yeah,
Yeah, so I lost that battle. But you know what? After 23 years of blissful,
is that what we're calling it?
glorious marriage, you learn those battles that you fight, and
He
the
says
ones
blissful.
you don't. Yes, it was just rainbows and sunshine.
Unicorns.
all 23 years, yeah. But yeah, I lost that battle. But
When we get on our property, if he wants to have rabbits just for that purpose,
They'll
I'm-
have their own separate
yes,
space.
and I will never visit it.
Liar.
I'll go over there. sorry you're going to the freezer in 8 weeks, but
She'll be an undercover affectionate rabbit lover on her.
no, I mean, a lot of people slaughter and eat rabbits, and it's a big thing, but I don't know. Like,
well, it's a good source of protein and food.
let's say this, if we had to, we know how to do it.
That's what I was telling John
know?
earlier. It's like, you know, could we be growing more of our own stuff? We could, but you know, if the SHTF happens, then we would survive.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
And,
we're definitely going to survive.
and I think you guys are in that same category.
Yeah, I mean, we have, oh my gosh, I mean, this is just like, really for us, like I was saying the other night, it's like this has been our training.
Yes.
This has been our prep for, okay, we know we want this and we don't want this. We know how to do this and we still need to learn about this. So that when we do move and have that bigger piece of property that we want, we already know.
The education's done.
Yeah, we already know what kind of hoops we want to have, how that rabbitry that we want to have. We know what we want to put in the goat pen and how we want to build their paddock. All that has been learned.
And that
so
is
we're not
actually-
going to make those mistakes again.
No.
On
And this
that
is
property.
actually what we actually talked about when I told her to wait till we get on the property. And she pushed me and pushed me and pushed me, and I said, okay, finally we'll get some chickens. And then it went from one furry thing to the next with her, and from feathers to fur. And then we started talking, yeah, this will just be our training session. And it really did turn in, because we made a lot of mistakes along the way. So
Learned a lot.
What's your biggest mistake?
my biggest mistake,
The goat.
the goat.
Learning about.
Hank. We had a beautiful, pure white,
Oh gosh, he was
blue-eyed
awesome.
buck, Nigerian Dwarf buck with papers. The goat was like my dog. We don't have a fence out front, but every time I came out to do chores, I would let Hank out, and he would do all
Follow
the
us
chores
around
with me.
The whole time. Never left our side.
We would eat dinner on the back porch, and Hank would be sitting there begging for scraps or something, just like a dog would. And I got really attached to that goat. We got our meat chickens. We put them in sort of a chicken tractor inside the goat pen, and Hank broke into that and was eating their food. I didn't know it. I didn't know what was happening to the chicken feed.
All right.
And he got urinary calculi. And as soon I came outside that morning, and I instantly knew something was wrong, because I spend every day with Hank, and I know him like one of the family. And he wasn't positioned right. He wasn't in his normal spot. His neigh was not normal, and I knew instantly there was something wrong. And I thought maybe he'd been snake bitten. So I ran out there literally, and he just was kind of doing this, and when he would urinate, it would just drip out, and I knew something was wrong. I had read a little bit about it before.
Yeah, he was in so much pain.
So I scooped him up, took him down the road to the emergency vet. I
to
told
the large
her,
animal vet.
yeah, I told her I don't care how much it costs. I want my goat fixed. Well, they tried to cut the end of it off and do the normal process. They cathed them. They could not find it, could not feel it, and she said it has to be stuck in the turn.
Yeah.
So she said, I'm gonna have to open them up. And I said, do whatever you have to save my goat. And she goes, it'll be this much. I told him I didn't care. I've got it. Let's get him fixed. And he ended up dying on the operating room table. And that was a devastation to me, because he was my farm buddy.
Well, we felt like it was
Our
fault.
Well, what's your big? All right, enough of that.
Yeah.
What's your biggest success?
Big is everything that we've learned. But I think personally the biggest success is the time that we spend as a family out here.
That's absolute. I couldn't agree with you more.
And we have a lot of memories from this little place. We're going to cherish those. But basically, just being with the kids. I mean, if I was out here tilling out something or planting, it's not the same with Michael and Maddie and Macy and Rachel there. It just makes it a whole different experience, and that is, I think, our biggest success.
You know, when you leave this, the last time that you leave this property is your home and homestead, it'll be emotional for you.
Yeah, probably.
Because this is where it started.
No.
Even
Right,
though
I
you're
mean-
excited about going on to the next and the bigger, you know, it's you'll feel that emotion when you leave because of everything you've experienced
Oh
here,
my
and
gosh,
knowing
we've
that
just-
this is the starting point. So
We've learned so much, you know. We've lost and gained and lost and gained, and just, I don't know. It makes me emotional even just now talking about it. You know,
Right.
it's,
Yep. It's hard.
this has been what I've wanted.
right.
I
you
mean,
know,
the last
this
time
is what
we
I've worked for.
when we moved from the city to the country, we bought an acre and a half, and we had neighbors that complained when we did anything. So
Yeah.
we couldn't do what we wanted to do, and we didn't even have a homestead, and it was emotional when we left that property.
Yeah, I mean, this becomes our safe place.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like when I leave work, I'm like, I know it's going to be a madhouse with 3 kids when I get home, but
And
I cannot
animals and
wait
everything else. Yeah.
to just pull up in the driveway because I'm away from
No.
all the troubles out there. And I
Right.
come out here, you know, and I'll sit, pull my chair up, and let the rabbits run around and play, and just be gone.
See, that's the coolest thing. Just take the rabbit out and watch the rabbit
Yeah, I
run
mean,
around
it's
in
the
little-
coolest thing, you know, like when I let the chickens free range everywhere, I loved it because I could just sit out here and I would just watch them doing their thing.
Yep.
You know,
You like?
is my
do
safe
you,
place.
do you like the chickens, Rachel?
I love them
Why?
because they're awesome. Honestly, like, I don't know if you guys watch Old Redding Farm on
Yes.
YouTube. Oh my gosh, like they have a bazillion chickens, and I'm like, that's gonna be me. You're gonna walk outside, and it's gonna be like a sea
No.
of chickens.
Every time I watch him,
That too.
every time I watch him, I have this fleeting moment of, yeah, I think alpacas would be really cool.
Yeah, yeah.
No. All right, folks. All right, folks. We're gonna wrap this up. I want to say thanks to John and Rachel. Probably catch a little bit of video when we run out to their property a little bit later. We're going to be meeting up with them, Chip and Nicole from Hidden Oaks Farmstead tomorrow for the Gulf Coast Homesteaders meetup. So,
And we are excited. It's going to be some fun.
So excited.
take care, folks. Always remember, treat others as you would like to be treated. LaLa Farm out. So we're over here at the future Dusty Goat Homestead and kind of taking a look around here. John was just telling me him and Rachel have done some work clearing. This is all done by hand so far.